All right, so recently one business operator stated that the government should reopen the economy. But with the number of COVID-19 cases going up daily, is it really the right time to do so? Joining us now to have this discussion, Alison Peart, Managing Director of A. Peart Advisory Services Limited, and Howard Mitchell, immediate past President of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here with us this morning.
Good morning.
Morning, ladies.
Good to have you both. Let me start. Somich, can I start with you? Can you tell me, when we're talking about opening up the economy, right? Is the economy closed?
Sorry, what?
Is the economy closed?
No, the economy is not closed, but the economy is wound down. Across the sectors, it is very slow. The problem is that the major legs that we stand on are closed. Tourism is closed, and remittances have taken a serious hit.
Right.
Mining is closed for the most part.
Right.
So that this means serious unemployment. This means that close to three, probably even as much as 400,000 people are out of jobs. So for all intents and purposes, our major engines of development and growth are closed.
Okay, so remittances, I know retail has taken a hit. Tourism has taken a hit. Agriculture has taken a hit, even though there looks to be... which one?
There's a drought as well.
And a drought,
so
yes.
We are under pressure.
Okay.
Alison, it's a catch-22 because, you know, we know the problems with the economy being kind of wound up, as Howard said. A lot of small businesses have been suffering, and that's 80% of our workforce. But we also run the risk of opening up and then seriously having a much wider outbreak of COVID that may become unmanageable.
That's the problem. Without a vaccine, if we open too quickly and somebody gets sick, and, you know, we have to be careful. It's a tight rope. In terms of going forward, we are going to need to have protocols in place. We're going to need vaccines quicker, results from testing quicker. So for the small business person who really needs to get their business going, there needs to be some thought as to what are we going to do in this new normal? Because if we don't find a vaccine soon, we may find that COVID stays with us for a long time. I hear stories that the Spanish flu is still here.
But the vaccine for COVID is 12 to 18 months out, Alison. So when we see this letter or this full-page ad in the paper that the economy needs to be reopened, what are your high-level thoughts on that?
Well, let's be honest. The economy itself is not closed. Certain portions of the economy. Also, what we have is a lockdown in certain areas. So we have to be careful when we say the economy is closed. It's not every single business.
Right, because supermarkets are open, factories are open. Well, even though those are considered essential, I guess the call is for a wider section of the businesses, a wider representation. How do you feel about, are we ready for that? I hear you talking about protocols and processes. Do we have those? Is there a clear plan? Do you feel like we're ready to do that?
I saw a story about a BPO looking to reopen once they're allowed to. The time it took to get the result for a suspected case. So I hear the cry, but you also hear people saying we should have shut down the whole thing weeks ago. So if we don't have full testing of people, would you go and purchase? Remember, there are two sides to the economy. Would you as a customer go out and buy anything if you don't know if the person selling to you has COVID?
Howard, I want to bring you in here. Alison, you've heard what I've said. Listen, even if we open, there has to be necessary protocols. From the PSOJ perspective, because I know business is risk and And I mean, you really can't be successful without taking some kind of risk. But what are some of the things, what's the midpoint? What are some of the things that big business is saying, if we open up a little bit more, this is what we will put in place?
Let me put something in context. First of all, COVID is here with us and it's not going to go away. Secondly, the majority of our people are going to be exposed to it and are going to get it. What we need to do are the following four things. One, we need to strengthen and accelerate the pace at which we are strengthening our public health resources. Two, we need to accelerate the pace at which we are protecting our vulnerable population, the people who will die if they get it, the people who will get critically ill, and who will clog our hospital systems. Three, we need to develop as quickly as possible protocols to allow the majority of the population to go back to work, act with each other in relative safety. And four, we need to move as quickly as possible to broaden the access of everybody to the internet, including but not limited to activating the any satellite access that we have, so that people in inaccessible areas can get internet. The economy must live, and our people must live. We cannot crawl into holes and lock down and hope it will go away. It won't, and we will face the choice of dying from hunger. Mm-hmm. So that we as a nation need to accept these truths and work together for a new type of lifestyle, a new type of accommodation of a challenge that we're going to have to live with for, even when the vaccine is developed, it will take a considerable period of time for it to get to countries and to people such as ours.
Right.
It's a fact.
Mm-hmm. What I hear you saying, Howard, is that open, but we have to open and prepare ourselves to operate in a different way. And part of that would include taking into consideration social distancing and all the other things that we have been trying to do to control COVID. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And furthermore, what we have to accommodate to ourselves too is the fact that the rest of the world is going to open. And when it does, they're going to still want to come to the Caribbean, they're going to want to come to Jamaica, and we must prepare ourselves to accommodate them.
I want to hear Alison's thoughts on this, because the rest of the world, I know there are discussions in the U.S. about states opening, governors doing this and others doing that, and people saying, you know, it's great to reopen the economy, and have business start again, but dead people cannot be productive. So Alison, let me hear your thoughts on what Howard is saying, and whether you think we're just moving too fast with this.
Well, we need to make sure, too, that our healthcare system can manage the people who will get sick. Because you have talk of the asymptomatic persons who can spread it, or, you know, and you don't know. We have to be careful about a few things as well. In that, if we overrun the healthcare system and people get sick and we want to open the economy, we need to understand that that may happen and plan for that. So I hear Howard talking about the new norm. Us as business people and us as consumers need to understand and behave and listen. I mean, I've seen the TVJ putting out a news release to encourage people to stay apart from each other in the lines, to go online. So I agree with Howard. We need better access to Wi-Fi. However, we also need to listen and hear when we're told social distancing. Now, in Jamaica, sometimes we use terms that people don't quite understand. If you keep saying social distancing and you don't explain what social distancing is, people get confused.
Wow. The debate rages on. We will see certainly how things unfold.
Survival on many levels.
I'm telling you,
survival on many levels.
It's the tension, the balance. It's so important, and we need to kind of figure out how that works and how we work with each side of what is on the other side of this tension wire that runs in the middle. Thank you very much, folks, for your time this morning. Alison.
And to end, we need a plan. We can't just sit and say we should open. As Howard gave points, everybody needs to have a plan so that you know if something happens where COVID hits, what are you going to do? Meaning hits your business.
Yes, got you, Alison. Hear you loud and clear. Managing Director at A. Peart Advisory Services Limited, Alison Peart, and Howard Mitchell, immediate past President at the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. Thanks again, folks. Wow.
All right.
Okay, ladies, be safe.
Take care.
You too, Howard. Thank you. And bye, Alison. Coming up next, your favorite Tuesday feature. It's Girl Talk. What are we talking about today?
Matey gets sidelined.
Side chicks get sidelined. I say that so painfully as a result of COVID-19. No, when we come back, we're going to talk about this side chick.
You're going to talk and I'm watching because she's ready. Don't go nowhere.
I don't, yeah.